Hello from everywhere. You thought I forgot you. Let's get started. Let's do it. Here we go. Thanks for showing up. Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University. Hello, I'm Mary Gunn. Mary Gunn, fun. Yes, well, Mary Gunn, fun. Founder and head professor of Fun University. Welcome to the Bunny Trail Hall of Fun University, where I try to make sense of last week's parameters on a design format and help you understand how to use these ideas in future cards. And I have 3 cards tonight. What is Craft Roulette after all? Anyway, Craft Roulette is back up. This show now is based on Craft Roulette parameters. Craft Roulette is our show that we have on at 6:30 Friday evenings on our sister YouTube channel. Yes. And there's information down below. Anyway, we have 4 parameters each week, new cards, a special guest, and then, as if that's not enough, you guys get to send in cards. And so what I do is I look through all your cards and get all these great ideas, and then I go, let's try this one and this one, and that's what we're doing tonight. So it is so great to have you guys here. Last week's parameters, can you remember what they were? It was so far back, and the time has changed, and the trees are changing, and it's just a remarkable thing. I did have a beautiful walk today and yesterday as well. Apparently tomorrow is going to be rainy, but oh man, those trees were pretty. Let's go down to paper. I don't have anything as pretty as those trees. Nothing. All right. Very good. You are not late, Judy G. I was almost late. Last week's parameters on Craft Roulette, I'll do it too as a conductor. On Craft Roulette, number 86, was diagonal cut. The colors had to be inspired by patterned paper. You had to do something with kids, and you had to have a folded corner. There were some great interpretations that you need to go to. If you haven't spent any time on craftroulette.live in the galleries, they are just so full of wonderful ideas from our fabulous viewers. I can't say enough. You just will be blown away with all their inspiration. So this week, tonight, I see why that's showing. I was wondering why that was, I didn't remember slopping on that glue. There we go. Tonight, I'm going to work on diagonal cuts that you can use. There are a whole bunch more that I can't get to tonight. And I'm going to talk about getting ideas from colors from your pattern paper. It's really a great resource for you. So, oh, you can see me, Andy. Generally, if there's some kind of crazy thing that you can't figure out on YouTube, just turn everything off and try again, Karen Goddard. But I don't know. Maybe it's a Australian thing. All right, so this was my card last week. I did add some green snowflakes and a few little sequins and colored him in real cute. And then he was also on an A2 size base, so I could do all sorts of stuff with him. That is that. This is the stamp set mostly I'm going to be using tonight. I don't know where it's from. It was from a friend, and I don't think she ever used it, but I've enjoyed using it this fall, and I'm going to keep using it a little bit. I think it's great. I have no idea where it's from. And I have a feeling it's really old, but I took it out of its container. But this is the stamp set we're going to use. I am going to be using my true color wheel colors to do a little bit of teachifying. Oh, diagonal corners. I'm going to put down below inside the description box a couple classes that I've already taught on lines. I think it was last spring. Did some vertical lines, horizontal lines, and diagonal lines, and how to use them and how to feel if you don't have it right. Sometimes you get a card together and you look at it and it just goes, oh, yeah, what is it? So anyway, that's something I'll put down in the description below. The first card we're going to make, it's cute. This is for all those people that have some one-sided pattern paper. Alrighty, because this little guy doesn't want to go with two-side, or it doesn't work the other way. So, all right, so you take a A2 size top fold, put it on a side, and so that you have 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. If you are new to card making, welcome! And this is what I'm talking about. Whoopsie, I gotta get some more, I'm almost out. When you take a copy paper size piece of cardstock, you have 8 1/2 by 11 inches. So if you just go right down the middle at 4 1/4, you will have 2 A2 size cards that end up being what I would call top folds. So I took that top fold and twisted it 90 degrees, and so now it's a long side fold. Next thing we're going to do, oh my, you should have seen, this place has just been well used of late. I have been crafting like crazy. We are going to put this little corner right up here at the fold on one edge, and we're going to bring down this little tiny corner on the other edge, and hope we're pretty close, and give it a whack. There's another way to do this kind of card fold where you do a big one and it comes down in one way and another way, but I decided to try this one for you. Okay, now we've got these don't have anything on the back, so they are limited. One thing you can do, I'm going to show you another way when you have two-sided paper. It's a whole nother card, but we're going to go ahead and cut this down to, I think I can use my little whacker now. We're going to cut it down to the 4 1/4. Well, no, I don't want to use my little whacker because he's not quite a big enough whacker. We're going to cut it down to 4 1/4 tall, being careful not to cut off the nutcracker's head, and then 5 1/2 wide. Going to do the same doggone thing to this, which doesn't have any true direction. There's stamps going every which way. If you have I'm going to see if there's any that I like them all. Let's go ahead and do that at 4 1/4, 5 1/2. We'll stick these guys together. And then we'll just line them up. Just make sure you're lined up nicely at the top and at the bottom. Reconnoiter. Siri, am I going the right direction? In 300 feet, you will want to turn left. Your paper left. Now we've got some nice scraps not to throw away. And we've got 2 pieces. Oh, I did cut off his head a little bit. Sorry, dude. Right there and there. Okay, so this will open up and you'll have lots of writing room. This would have been really pretty on some craft paper, but I don't have any. Oh, that does that now, doesn't it? Oh, somebody's getting lots of help. I'm sorry that you're having trouble. But then you can just go ahead and stick them on. This is a pretty fun, interesting way to make a bunch of little cards. It's just another way to step it up just a little bit to make it a little more interesting. You can always re-whack, patty-whack. You could put the full size inside as well if you didn't use something that looked better with it, like I wish I had. But I don't have the stuff, which makes it really hard. And then this will look very, very nice with a little bit of ink edging. That'll get rid of the little white edges too, which I'm going to get rid of anyway. I'm going to just re-whack it to get that little guy off. I should have fudged fudged. I really messed that one up. Should have fudged on, we're going to have to put another strip on there. Should have fudged with the piece up at the edge and then cut this bottom off. But, you know, didn't happen this time. This is really cute paper. I'm going to have to put something down there. What shall I put? I am looking around to see what I have. Well, I bet another piece from this set would be pretty, but, or I can just put this inside. There's his hat. I don't think it'll matter. Oh, yeah, well, maybe it does matter a little bit. Ooh, here's a little piece of the other thing. Will that work? Nope, not quite long enough. But close. Let's see if we can patch it. Let's cut this. Let's see, it was right there, 1/2 inch. And another 1/2 inch. Really do like this design. Another design I liked a lot was just people that were cutting a diagonal or folding down a diagonal corner and putting their focal point on it. I think that's just a grand look. I am not going to get my adhesive past that little fold there so I can cut it off. There, we'll just snug him right up there. It won't matter. A little bit. It might matter a little bit. Don't look too close. When was the last time you got a handmade card that you examined closely? I mean, we just don't need to be that kind of friend. And then we can fold that over and cut that little guy off. There we go. Now you can see just a tiny little something in there. And you can put a little focal point right there. We can stamp it right on here directly. Sending love. I think that's a lovely sentiment. Hope I can get it on here right. But you know, if you do stamp right on your project and it fudges, that's when you put a little banner or a little die cut or a little something. Opportunities for embellishment, that's right. There we go. Sending love your way. I like it. So that's a really simple way to make a card, but I would make the card base look better if you could, because I think it looks better if it matches more. Well, I guess you could put another little thing there if you start to get really obsessive, but let's try not to. You could put this then. Oh, there. Now you go. There you go. Now it doesn't have his hat showing so much. Let's go ahead and put that on there. I'm not going to use that anyway. You can flip them around and make another one, and that would be going in the opposite direction. Probably don't want a lot of on purpose. Oops. Come on, baby. Don't you get all into a relationship here. Don't want to have, what was I going to say? Oh, you don't want something that's too directional. I want something with some give and take. Somebody that will love you no matter what. Can I do it? Can I do it? Nope, I can't. Okay. But I can do this. I'm sure you could do this with other sizes too, which is kind of a fun trick. I don't know. Mini slims, definitely. Slim lines might be a stretch, but it might be awesome. 5x7, I don't know why not. You could do, let's see, 7. You're gonna have a big slant, but you know, there's some big slants in life that work. I figured that hill that I have to walk up every morning at the end of my walk is a big slant that makes it work. Okay, so that's one way to make one of these cards. I think it's pretty easy and I really like it. You could also then put a little bit of a brad, or you could make this a pocket and you could stick something cute inside of it with a little tag or something that would come right out. And then, so you could just put a little adhesive down here, a little adhesive along here, and then you would have a little pocket, probably like there. And so then you could put one of those tags that everybody's been making that doesn't seem to, what do you do with all those tags? That's what I keep asking. Everybody's making, how many gifts? I don't make that many, we don't have that many gifts. How many gifts do you have tags for? I don't know. Plus, in our family, we reuse our tags because I use their little baby pictures on them, and they're adorable. So, okay, so that's that. For real, for real. Okay, this is two-sided. And again, I'm going to use the same size, which is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's an A2. And we're going to whack again, just like I did before. Whack-a-doodle, whack-a-mole. Then this piece is also 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It has two beautiful sides. We're going to cut that guy right down diagonally too. And I think you'll be okay without seeing it. There we go. So now we have two. I saw this on Dawn's stamping spot just the other day, and I thought it was so clever. This is what I wanted to do on the show the other night, but then I thought, no, this is bad mojo. You can't do that. You can't do it when you're not 100% sure, and I wasn't. So we're going to go ahead, give a little ink up. You know, if you're doing a really clean look, you don't need to ink. I don't know why I've been inking lately. I think it's peer group pressure. I've been seeing other people ink, and I feel like I have to too. No, it's mostly fall to me. I think of fall, I've often thought of fall cards as very texturized, a lot of great opportunity for darks and lights and things like that. So I think it's not just peer group pressure, but, okay, this guy, isn't this fun? Okay, so the diagonal thing, let me remind you a few things about diagonals. If you haven't seen that series, first we talked about horizontal lines and vertical lines. If you think of looking out on a prairie, you can definitely think of a horizon, and if you're ever driven across eastern Colorado and western Kansas, you know that you yearn for something that's not just horizontal. You yearn for something that's going to be vertical, and that's why the mountains are so exciting when you get there. Okay, then we're just going to take this top piece, flip it over, even though the paper is so pretty, and glue it onto the front. Okay, wait. So I'm going to do this, and I am going to help myself know where to put the adhesive. There we go. Now I see, now I see. And then if you are just looking at vertical lines, they also have a great ability to make you feel long and tall and moving up, thinking up and down, but they too are a little bit restrictive when they're alone. So enter diagonals, and diagonals bring an element, see how fun that is? An element of playfulness. They can be great for making lines to go to a focal point. They like, think of a slide, you know, like just a slide on a playground. It's playful, it's fun, and that's what a diagonal will do. It will give it a bit of playfulness, and in informality. So it's a good little trick. I think then I made this crazy snowflake tree, which I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. Look, he grew. It was a terrible windstorm where he was growing up, and he got a little crooked. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. I masked off the area and drew that line. But I was going to use this one because I like it. And I was pulling the colors, but then look, this is has a little bit of a yellowy undertone to it, and this is definitely not a yellowy undertone. So I was going to try something here before I gave up. I'm not so sure I love the Snowflake Tree. Definitely don't have a crush on it. May not hate it, but don't think I love it. Okay. You know what would be the worst thing to do? Is just try it right here. That would be really dumb. So I know, let's see, we'll go with this. Let's see what pen it was. I think it was this pen. See, that one's okay. Oh my. You've seen better days. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that's this color, right? So let's see what happens if we just add a little bit of, or if it goes too green. It goes a little green. Let's try it the other way around. Maybe another blue. Something light. That's still a little too yellow too. Let's see what we look like right here next to it. It's not too bad, but it's not... Wah! Wah! You know what? We might try something else to make this work. Let me trim him down just a little bit, and we'll put some matting around him and see if we can make that color feel better. And if not, you know, I can always do another one. That one's not quite even now. Because if you look at this paper, as far as colors go, you've got, and we pull out this guy, you've got a really bright, pure red, and then you've basically got a blue-green tint, if my eyes don't deceive me. You've got a blue-green tint. All right, so if you've got those things happening, it's not even a color, it's like a part of a complementary thing because almost blue is right there. But, I don't know, I'm going to find some of this color and put it around the edge and see, yeah, I don't know, maybe put some black and then put some of that color. That might be the trick, to have a little buffer. We're going to experiment. Maybe just some black, but then you've got all this black. It's just almost too black. Okay. And then, see, I do have some of that blue. Let's see what else is gone. You thought Kansas had one hill? We're not in Kansas. We're in Missouri. Yeah, so we have hills. Yep, you cross the line, cross state line, which is like 4 blocks away, and all of a sudden you've got hills. It was much, well, there were hills where we used to live too, but this is another ball game. It goes fast, but it's good for me, right? Let's see what this is. It's kind of in between, maybe. Let's see, that might work. Looks like I didn't do a very good job on the first one. Let's make a little mat. Make a little mat. Have a little fun. Boy, where did it go? I got a little mat snappy there. Well, you know, okay, cut it too short on the bottom. So, because I wasn't standing up and I wasn't looking to see what I was doing. So we'll just give him a little bit of an addition. There we go. No harm, no foul. You go with red. Red might take care of things. How about we do on black and then do red? It's quite a bit of matting for just one little card. You live in a flat part of Sweden because you're close to the shore, right? Okay. I'm not going to make the same mistake. There we go. Okay, one more little, maybe some red that goes across. Are we visualizing that? Let's see what I've got for red. Come over to my Goldilocks. I think we want real red. I don't know if I have a big piece. Okay. It's kind of a yellow red. Maybe that'll work. Look at there. You could do it this way too and have something peeking out there. That would be cool. I hadn't made one like that. This one's a little too much work, I think, for matting. I think if I'd thought ahead better, it would have been an easier card. Done a little better planning on my colors, I think, but it's okay. There we go. I kind of like it like that. Then you've got your diagonal things going on there. So you could do it, okay, so you could glue it, make it have a pocket. And if you had a stamp set that really looked great in there, that would be really cool. Or you could set it off to the side so you can showcase this stuff. And that might be kind of cool. Or you can center it. And that looks lovely. Or you can put it down here in the corner or in this corner. And you could put a little sentiment sticking out there. You can cover up, look at there, cover up those things, and then all you have are geometrics. You have anything that suggests snow till you open it. I kind of like that one. And then put, you are a wonderful person, which is what I always say. It just opens up everything. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to try it this way. Then you've got your diagonal lines going all over coolness. Usually I like to pull it up just, or push it down, or one way or the other. But I am going to go ahead and just do it like this today. There we go. Is that right? Yep. And we try to find the lines. I think we found them. No, we didn't. Try from this side. That's kind of pretty. Kind of a bit of a surprise inside, but I don't know if that's a bad thing. Then you could do You're a Wonderful Person, which is my favorite. Where is it? Come here. I know you're right here. I saw you here today. Oh, there's a little squirrel I could put in here too. You're a wonderful person. You could put that off to the side a little bit of place here for the squirrel. You know, we can try the squirrel by stamping it off on something first and just seeing if he looks good here. He may not. He may look great, but he may look like a dumb rodent. Let me get a little piece of paper here. If you have not hit that like button, that thumbs up, and you feel like you can because you're okay with this show. We'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to this is not even white. If you haven't subscribed, appreciate that too. Here we go. Come here, Bucky. Let's see if we're not even sure about you. Okay. And if you haven't had a chance to look at the gallery yet, oh, you guys, there's over 80 cards. And they all have something unique and wonderful. They really are good. Let's see if that's going to fit. I don't know if Bucky J is going to fit on here. He seems to be a little big. He seems a little big for that tree. What do you think? No, squirrel. Yeah, I think squirrel has to go somewhere else. Well, you know, he can go find another home. Sorry, dude, I tried. I tried harder than most. I'm telling you, most would not have tried that hard for you. But I'm here for you, Bucky J. Let's see, do we want it on blue? Do we want it on red? I like red. Or do we like it on black? Yeah, or have some black. He's going to sit right there and make sure we don't make any mistakes. Do we like? I think black is too boring. There really were a lot of great cards, Christina. And what I really like is how unique they are, because since we don't use any particular product at all. Red it is. There's not a lot of repeats or anything. It's all just unique and wonderful. Toodaloo. You are a wonderful person. Do we want it up here? Do we want it in the tree? I don't like it in the tree. Too much going on. We want a little bass. Mama sang bass, Daddy sang, you are a wonderful person. Put the squirrel on the inside? I think he might just have to go in the inside. I'm going to see if I can put that right there. There we go. Pretty good. He can go in here. We'll just stick him in there for now. That'll be a surprise for me. So anyway, why is he still there? Okay, couple things on the coloring here. I did take some gray and color around each one of those little shapes. It just had too much space. It's a real light gray, and I don't think you can see it on the screen very well. But I did do that, and it made it feel a little more put together. When you are choosing your colors to put on something like this, don't always go by the shape. Like the reds, that was fine to go by the flowers, the red flowers, but don't always go by, oh, I've got to make this, I've got to use this one in gray, because they're not always as close to being the same as you may think. So go ahead and think of what colors you want to have in here. Make sure you try to get them all over the place so that you don't have all this one blue and this one all the other blue. And you can add some neutrals in there like the gray. It was just fine. So all I used was red and 2 blues, 3 blues. There's a dark blue, there's a blue-green tint, and then there's this blue tint, and then there's a gray. So look around, start to fill it in by colors. You can kind of squint to see if you have your colors everywhere. It's kind of like that my mother-in-law's Christmas tree rule, where you squint your eyes to see if all the colors are all over the place, the lights. You could add some more little doolollies along here and it would be fine. But I think that's a fun card. Mostly I like it this way, but I like the option that you can make it a pocket. You could also make it a pocket this way, and that you can switch it around and just get some great diagonal things going on. I don't know if I like all that noise inside, but you could also put a piece of white cardstock on the inside, put a picture there, something, whichever you want to do. But I like it. I like it just fine. As far as this guy, I'm glad I didn't use him, but I do like the colors better on him. Look at him. He's got, he's crazy. I think he's got some potential though. The Snowflake Tree, I think, has a lot of potential. I think it's just there's some wrong choices going on here. So anyway, I'm going to keep that out and maybe make some different kinds using Snowflake Tree. So that's using 2 colors in a neutral, which I think looks really good. The next one, this was inspired by Sylvia Podrojic, and she, I think, has everything all hunkered down and glued. But I decided not to do that. You can open it up. There's a little card right there. You can open it up and make it interactive. I don't know what you'd put in here. Maybe some jokes, maybe some tips. I don't know. But the fun part was figuring out the size of these little squares and then just folding them over. I think it was really a fun little thing to do. But there, again, there's going to be a lot of things you can do. On colors on this guy, okay, so you look at this and you've got a blue, you've got this dark, a light blue, you've got a red orange, and then you have a yellow orange, plus a neutral of brown. So I think these feel very fallish. The paper is going to tell you exactly what to use. It's great, isn't it? You have three thumbs up holdouts. Well, maybe they went and had dinner. They may not be here anymore, so it's okay. So anyway, if you look at the true color wheel here, you can look up and go, okay, there's a blue. Let's open it up to blue. And then if we go from blue to red orange, we've got our little complementary, split complementary, I believe. Or is it complementary? No, this is the complement. Okay, this is the complement. This is the split complement. Blue, red, orange, and then yellow, orange. So you've got blue, red, orange, yellow, orange. That's what this is. This is called a split complement. How about that, guys? You can learn your color combinations by looking at paper. There's no reason to have to struggle with these things. You don't have to go, okay, now I'm going to figure out which blue to do here, which red orange to add, and then which yellow orange. It doesn't look that great here, but if you do go the other way. If you find some paper that you like, figure out the colors that are being used and make a record of it, or and then learn which ones you want. If it has a certain seasonal feel, you can do that. Then you can also help you to decide what colors to use for making details or colors on. Yes, it is really old, close to my heart paper. It's time for it to be used. Just colors on your project. So this one I think would have been better with a cream instead of this tan, because look at this. This is just a very, very slight, it's slightly off white. So I went, no, it can't be white. That's too stark. But this tan was too blah. So I don't know, it may get it may get taken off and then just and redone. Yes, you need to talk to Santa and get him to give you one. They're not very expensive, Grandma Gay, but they're so important. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do with this. Okay, it was real cool. This is how I started figuring out what this card was going to be like, and it got too geometric too fast. And so what I figured out is if you take a 3-inch by 12-inch piece of paper, cut it into 4 3-inch by 3-inch pieces of paper, you end up with these wonderful little 3-inch by 3-inch squares. And so then if you fold them in half, they become perfect. And you can always put them in the corner of something if you want to make it so that it folds real nice. But if you put your finger right here and pull it down at that corner and then spread it out, you'll probably get a pretty, if you have a fairly good cut, you'll probably get a pretty good straight fold. So just pull it, hold it down, pull it down, go to the sides. The way Sylvia had it was she had the top folded back, and then she had a little bit of this other side of the paper inside, and then she had just a focal point on top. I am not going to use this one. But I thought, here's another thing. If you pull this one back down over itself, then it can be a little bit tricky because you may steer off starboard or port, and you don't want that. So if you can put just a folding strip in here, put it right there in the crease, and then fold it over, then you'll get a pretty straight line, and then fold it back. And see, you've got these little squares. See, if I have the white, you can see the square better. It's like geometry. That's right. Yep, French vanilla, that's not only delicious sounding, but it would be a good color. So just use your tools, which is just a piece of paper, and it was so well measured that I just pulled it out of my scraps. I thought it was a good idea. Thanks. Because I know I could go sideways. But don't try to hold it up and do it. It's gonna be too hard. But if you just snug it down and let that table be your rest, you'll be rolling in it. See how nice they are? Okay, so then they all go on this card. She had multiple layers and things. It got very complicated, and I didn't do that much. But I think I would do the 2 end pieces first. You only have to do the back triangle. And you could cut the triangle, so you don't even have to do a fold, but you could cut each of these 3 by 3 squares into a triangle, and then you'd have it too. So go ahead and do the 2 ends. Pardon me. And then we'll figure out where the middle is on the rest of it. Because even though these are 3 by 3, when you fold them diagonally, the middle part is longer. So it goes all the way from one side to the other. Isn't that clever? Well, Lisa, you're just fine. You're just on time. I think all of you are in Fun Universities. I'm looking for the black space now to see if it's pretty even. There we go. If you aren't on the Fun University Lounge on Facebook, we do have a place where you have an opportunity to show us what you have discovered tonight. And you can, I'm going to watch for this point right here. There we go. And you can show us what you've learned. So that's a busy little thing, isn't it? But it's okay. And then you can just put this guy right on top. So for you quilters out there, Judy G, this might be a really fun card. It's very, but you don't have to have it like that. You can have it, I don't know what you want to do with this, but you can also do it this way, which is also very cool. But you could do that with just half triangles. That looks good though. And then you could actually have a fold-up card here, and these would be all stuck down. I think it's better to have something that's rectangle than square because it is longer than it is short. But you could also do it this way. No problema. I don't know what I would put in there. You wouldn't want too much of a scene or anything. I think it could be a little bit busy depending on your side papers. But we'll just tuck him down. You could also tuck stuff in here. I mean, you could go forever and make it more complicated. Not too fussy, huh? But maybe something along this line and with a small little sentiment or a big sentiment, and then a few little flowers cut out of the paper or something else that would work real pretty there. You don't, let's see, this is like 3.5 by 2.5, I think. Let me double check. Flowers would be pretty. Oh, well, you're just fine, Andy, Zach. Yeah, Facebook, I'm not much anywhere else except for our groups. I will go ahead, I will tell you that. Sorry, Mark, but that's the way it is. More and more so every day. Put a little bit of a buffer there. And then I don't know what I would do for my little sentiment. This looks, I don't know. It could be pretty big. And I'm not sure what I have. This one's pretty big. I don't have a lot of big sentiments. You could put a die cut there too. I do have a hello die cut that would look maybe good there. In red. Let's see what that would look like. And then we'll wrap it up because we did it. We did a lot of cards. And we talked about diagonals and we learned a little bit about papers. Another thing about getting your colors from papers, sometimes they feel like they have a lot of different colors going on. But if you really examine them, oftentimes they only have 3, but maybe in darks and lights. So don't get confused when, I'm going to cut this hello out and see how it looks. Don't get confused when you're trying to figure out your color and go, oh, but they've got so many. They may or may not. Just look a little closer. See if there's some tints and some, what are there? See if there's some tints and some shades and some other things going on that you can work around. And you don't have to use them all either. If you want to pull a palette from a piece of pattern paper, this could get really, I was having trouble, pardon me, I was having trouble enough saying pattern paper inspired. But then to pull a palette from some pattern paper could get pretty crazy. Here we go. Yeah, that's simple enough that that's not going to be too much of a craziness there. I like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stick this guy down. Hello. Not you, sorry. But again, you could also make this a little interactive card with a little pocket for a tag. What do we do with all these tags? Or you could put a shape here. It does look really cute and very very quilty, which would be very nice for with the northern hemisphere going into winter. Is that straight? And you know, you could stack these, but guess who isn't? That's true, Judy G. Sometimes you see a color that isn't prominent that you want to use, and you absolutely can. It's just it's a jumping off spot. Are you going to open up for me? Okay, so you know, everybody had this crush on this glitter glue. I do not have a crush on the glitter glue. I don't. Look at that. So, surgery will have to be done. Perhaps a bath. I don't know. One more try. Redeem yourself. Nope. So there's some clog in there somewhere. I have to get the glitter glue Drano out. Okay, you go sit down. This, even though this mono liquid glue doesn't have that teeny tiny opening, which is a shame and a blessing because it doesn't clog. I like it just as much as anything. You just have to have a gentle hand when you're squeezing. And I know some people were putting glue on daubers and things. I think that was just an upsell, personally. I don't see it. Or makeup sponges, maybe? I don't know. They're just going to get hard. I don't get it. So just be gentle. And don't be afraid to get a little glue on your fingers. Maybe. If you do have glue phobia, then you're probably in another class of people that I don't know. Love Barely Art Glue. Yeah, I'm hearing that is kind of the current crush. I think it's probably just fine. And I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to be that much different than, I don't know. I don't know what makes them different. I don't do reviews. But I get cranky with myself when I believe something that doesn't turn out to be as wonderful as I think as I want it to be. I like that though. I do like that. That's good. And then I know I have some little yellow gems somewhere. I think little yellow gems might just be, except they're kind of behind a couple scrapbooks. There we go. Let's see what we can do with these. Okay, we'll do a biggie, a medium Z, and a little Z. There we go. Yeah. Hello. Nice to meet you. And those are some diagonal cards if I've ever seen them. Just do it. There's that doggone ink again. There we go. There we go. So those are our cards for the night. Let's line them up. This means we've got to push everything away. Whoa, there went something. Got to push everything away. Here we go. And I know I had another one of these somewhere. Must have gotten, there it is. And there we've got it. These two are Twinkies. These two are Twinkies, except not. And there's that. So we had the single open, which is just on an A2 size base. Same thing here. A2 size base with a piece of two-sided 4.5 by, or 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. Oh, there's that squirrel. And there is that. And then we talked about this is a way to make this interactive. This was just on, okay, so this little piece, the card was stuck on just a small piece of, like right here. And so I augmented it by adding another piece of cardstock on the back. So it was sandwiched, if you want to try that. I don't know if it's worth it, but that's one of them. An interactive, I don't know what it's called, fold. And oh, looky there, I put it upside down. Well, you know what? It's a good day when you do something that silly. So now it's a file card. Yes, bravo. Just when you think you're really smart. You know what you can do on a file card? You could close it and have something pull out. Or you could do like two sides and then have the back side folded down and have something pull out. So then you have a whole nother crazy set of diagonals. Look at that. You can just do the back. And that would be unique. Very unique. So, oh my goodness. All right. Let's give a big shout out and thank you to our patrons. We are community sponsored. That means I don't get no money from nobody. And except for you guys. And you do help us offset our expenses, which we do have. We do have a microphone coming. I'm pretty darn excited about. Kind of scared about it. And hopefully it doesn't make me sound like a small rodent anymore. Maybe it'll make me sound like a newscaster. But anyway, that's that. Thank you so much. The club fun thing, I have a new coloring sheet for you, but you're not going to get it until December, club fun. But it's a Christmas thing, so you'll get it in December. We do have some wonderful things going on in Club Fun. There is a Club Fun site, so you can go to clubfun.com and see what's going on there. Fun supporters and fun friends, you guys mean the world to us, so thank you so much. The vetoes are available in the Patreon, so you can go and veto next week's parameters. And ask questions for our next guest, who is Heather Telford, and we will see her Friday because Friday is Craft Roulette, episode number 87, and she's really great. She's been on before, so you can go back and see her first show, and see what she's like. She's very, very talented. I'll just be a hack. That's okay. You guys have fun crafting. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I'll take a peek at all your comments before I call it a night. I just found a piece of carrot. All right, that's enough for me then. I gotta go eat my piece of carrot. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.